Hi, I hope you guys are having a good morning on Twitch or feature like that. In this video, I'm going to just quickly address lethal tempo and its removal. In my opinion, I think it's bad, and I cover that here. And the reason why I'm making it with Reddit is just because I want to share the opinions that others have on the rune. The way I put it is that lethal tempos are its motivation. It is something we need, not something that must be taken away. Lethal tempo is important for players. It's a challenge and reward in one. Sure, it's fun and stupid on certain melee champions, such as the Yasuo, Tryndamere, and these other ones. I personally do still think that has a place in this game. And a lot of the time people make the argument that it's like a really broken rune, but my counter argument to that is that there's only a few champions that are ranged that utilize it well, or don't have runes that perform better. So champions that will almost always go it is champions like Ashe and Jinx, and then maybe Varus. And I'm pretty sure there was another one, but I couldn't quite think of it. But in most of the cases, you have Twitch, which has PTA, which always has performed slightly better. Same with Aphelios uses of one. I think Draven can use lethal tempo. But yeah, most of the time they're going to have a rune that performs better anyway. So to make the argument that lethal tempo is broken is something I think is always wrong. Regardless, my point is that people, like whenever people see like space gliding clips or something, you always have someone come into Discord or YouTube or anywhere and they're like, hey, how do I space glide? Like, how do I do that? It looks so cool, right? So like, it's nice to have something that pushes people to go beyond, right? Just like back in the day, you had like Insect and all these other combos that like was deemed like incredibly difficult. I think like lethal tempo has kind of served that role for ADC. And I think it's good to have something that can be challenging and kind of like not have a ceiling in a sense, even though lethal tempo is not going to go to 10 attack speed, right? It does allow you to kind of push yourself to the limit in terms of like mouse clicks and that. So yeah, I generally think that it's good to have something like lethal tempo in the game solely for that purpose. Also because of course it's fun. I don't see the purpose of it on melee champions. Like I don't see how it's much more fun there because you are just slapping people anyway. So I don't really see the reason for why melee could make the same argument. Because kiting with like X attack speed is like way more dopamine than it is to run someone down with Tryndamere with lethal tempo, right? My second point was that currently, as I've said in previous videos, sometimes when I show kiting and that, is that 2.5 is actually just slightly too slow with like high tempo. I think free attack speed is like a low ceiling and then a high ceiling is 3.5. Anything above that I don't think is like too important, or like it's not gonna be too like effective. Like not a lot of people are going to be able to utilize that all the time. I doubt there even are any that are able to do that. Most of the time, I don't care what anyone says. If it's attack spamming, it's not the same. And as you can see by the upvotes, like most people disagree. They think it's like bad, right? And that's just the general consensus here. They should just revert it. I agreed with this one, right? And someone said we don't need lethal tempo before. It's just the power relativity, right? Like you don't know something before you have it. It's like at the start of League of Legends, like no one knew they needed Insect, right? Like no one cared about it because no one knew how to do it. Like it wasn't there, like in their mind. But as time went on, it's changed. So I proceeded to make this post on the ADC forum by just kind of like linking it there. And the opinions here are mixed. A lot of people play Samira, Jhin, and I don't understand that. Because if you are playing someone like Jhin, I can understand it's unfun to get ran down. But I can promise you, as a Jhin player or something, you'd rather play against Twitch with lethal tempo than you would play against Twitch with PTA. Jhin is actually a pretty decent lane against Twitch. You can out damage him and I play it. The problem is when he goes PTA, he's going to deal a lot more damage to you. And it's kind of like the same sounding thing here, where people say that it's not that great, whatever. But Pro Dark mentioned the same thing a bit later down here somewhere. Overall, he's happy to see Lethal Tempo go, but he would be happy to see it return as pure attack speed. His point being that the range was kind of stupid. And I don't mind that. I'd be fine with that too. So that's no problem for me. And another person here mentioned, I'm sorry, but I really... he said, I cannot kite like Ruler. I doubt many of ADC players can. Hell, League players in general can do that. So 2.5 isn't the problem. The problem is heavy reliance on a mechanic that is designed to be fluid. I have some argument against Flash. Blah, blah, blah. And I made the counter argument there that most people couldn't do an insta at that point, but now they can. And what the fuck? So he posted this video here, and I said that's just 100% aesthetics. And I'll show you guys this clip here really quick, because I find it funny, right? Like I don't mind these kind of clips, like it looks cool, but this isn't like perfect, and I'll show you guys why. So like this looks cracked, right? But pay close attention again. Do you see it? So he's not kiting or like clicking back and forth. He's literally just set expanding. And he's just holding the mouse behind him while it's spamming the button. Because he ends up targeting the person nearest to him. As you can see here. He's attacking the Philios. But then when he moves away and Trundle comes close, he starts attacking him. And I mean, you can also make the argument that he's doing that because of the slow, right? But it is literally on point there. So, yeah. I'm not saying Brule is bad. He's a world-class ADC, of course. But they also do the set X and that. But I do, like, I know for a fact that 2.5 is slow. Like, you can click that and stutter. Like, you can end up stuttering. So, yeah. I agree with this one. Change is good. I am excited to see where the game goes. My biggest worry at the moment, outside of Lethal Tempo just being removed, is that the lack of variety. And the fact that it's going to feel more cookie cutter. As the builds has kind of seemed to feel or seem to. So, yeah. It seems like the resounding sound of community, even in ADC mains, is that people are like missing Lethal Tempo, but they don't mind it going away. And I can understand that because not all of them play Twitch or other champions that has that opening rush. A lot of these people play AP Kai'Sa. This guy plays Grasp Vayne. Like Jin, Caitlyn, blah blah blah. Right. But yeah. Yes, me Smear main. Right. Like Seri was another argument, but a lot of people have success with Fleet Footwork Seri. And I'm sure we could look that up and see that maybe even Fleet performs better. They are nerfing Fleet though, to my understanding. So again, just making PTA even better. And like the current PTA, like on the PBE, is way better than the current PTA we have. So I mean, yeah, that's that. But yeah, I really might play PTA. I would should miss the high attack speed, you know. And I do think it's good to have something that enforces or like encourages people to push ahead. But yeah, I'm hoping to see some form of return layout. I'm also kind of, I don't know, might become a Belveth main because she can surpass the attack speed limit. I'd assume Jinx can too, maybe if she's like unleashed with a passive. I'm not exactly sure. Well, it's not like people are gonna enjoy playing against like Conqueror, Jinxiva. But yeah, these are my thoughts and my attempt, although it didn't seem like the community as a whole agreed. I'll link the thread below if you guys are interested in reading. There was a lot more to read in the ADC one. There's a lot of mixed opinions here. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. So have a good morning, you're not too sure on fishes like that, and take care. Peace.